welcome in to episode 2 of our Let's Play Humankind highest difficulty series. That's right, we're playing on Humankind difficulty, and we have gone out of the Neolithic era. We have moved into the ancient era. We made a surprising pick, surprising honestly even to me. I'm playing this game with no strategy in mind, which is, I think, honestly how most games of Humankind should probably be played. It's more fun that way. But we moved up and chose the Sumerians. I have never played as the Sumerians before. I got enticed by their emblematic district, so we'll take a look at that really quickly as we move into the ancient era. If you missed out on episode 1, the very first episode of this brand new Let's Play series here on the channel, down in the description below is a link to episode 1. You can catch up on all of the action there. If you like the content, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to the channel to see when all the videos drop. I release these videos on Sunday, mid-morning my time, afternoonish for a lot of people. So let's jump into the action and check out where we're at. Just starting, very first turn, haven't done a thing, just moved up as the Sumerians, ancient era, Humankind, coming at you. Here we are, in our current land. Now, everything was going very smoothly in our first episode until we lost a fight to a mammoth. Humankind difficulty and the bonuses given to combat against us ended up biting us, and the mammoth just killed one of our units. We killed the mammoth, but when that happens, important fact, when that happens, you lose the bonuses. You lose the gains you get at the end of the fight. In this case, with a mammoth, 20 food and 20 influence in the Neolithic era. That cost us dearly. We lost a unit, we lost those bonuses, and what happened was we were about to put down a claim in this territory right here. You can see the territory line right there. This territory right here would have been a ginormous claim for us as far as just establishing borders and setting up for a good opening kind of map set in our home continent. We were 3 fame behind Sarge, 100 games, 100 days over here, our neighbor, and we missed the claim by 1 turn, and that has now been attached. So this claim went in, I believe the claim is like right there, yeah, right there, there's the administrative center. The claim went down 1 turn. We were literally standing right beside that spot, waiting. We did not have the influence to do it, and they claimed it the turn before we could, and now they have attached it into their city. If they wouldn't have attached it, I would have immediately come over here and burnt it down and gone for the aggressive route. Now that it's attached, which happened at the very end, like right when we moved up on turn 15, now that it's attached, we would have to declare a formal war against Sarge. That would be probably a very bad idea for us at this point. He moved up well before us. His tech is going to be ahead of us. We'll keep poking around to see. This piece of land has a strategic in it. It's got a river. It's really nice land. Moreover, it forms a very nice border with some mountains. It's a little bit more defensible. There's some high, low ground terrain. This is a really nice claim. I regret very much not getting it. Now, things are going pretty well for us, all right? We have access to the Great Barrier Reef. We do need to put down our Gunig Mulu claim, so we will do that in short order, because obviously now with Sarge claiming this and extending his territory all the way over here, we have to go into super speed claim mode. Our objective will be get our first city in. Obviously, we'll do that because that's free. We want to get a couple claims in. We want to extend our borders probably out in Sarge's direction. So getting this claim down with the Wonder, that's going to be big. We want to cut our territories here. We want to make sure we get this formed. That will be adjacent to our capital, so that's an easy claim. We want to get this claimed right here because this is going to form our next border now. This little stretch right here, a super weird little territory, but it flows right in here. We want this claim for sure. That will leave us to claim this maybe in a little bit. If we can get this claim in, kind of cut Sarge off from us and start making attachments to our capital there. And then we have another claim way up here. This will probably become our second city. So we make our second city here, and that will free us up to make any claims around up here on the cheap. Now, this was going to be a city down here in Titouan. And so we now have to decide, what are we going to do down here? Does the capital just kind of take this southern portion here, and then this city can kind of claim the northern portion, and then we kind of see what happens? There could be free peoples that come along. There could be a lot of different things that potentially happen. So all of those things will come into play as we jump into the ancient era here. So first things first, the ancient era, we need to put down our capital city. So we got our first city for free. We want to make sure we do that right away. We have an 11-11 here. We have 14-15 with 2 pop already here. And up here, this one is actually not down yet. 1 turn until this goes down. But we're sitting pretty well as far as everything is concerned. All things considered, I like our start quite a bit. And we're playing as the Sumerians. If you take a look at all of our different goodies, we have the diplomatic trait. So we can put that kind of non-aggressive or a ceasefire right in a territory. We'd probably end up exercising this at some point. So we'll try to use this if we can. That's going to be something that maybe gets us a little extra leverage, which will get us a couple extra stars. We have the Aduba. The Aduba was what tempted me to do this in the first place. Number 1, it's a research quarter. Number 2, it gets science per adjacent farmers' quarters, so we can build the Aduba to get a nice little science boost early, and then surround it with farmers' quarters for growth purposes. And the growth purposes are then going to contribute into our science, which should launch us into a very successful opening era. It also gains us leverage against people, which is going to be good. And we have access to the Aga Ush. The Aga Ush is anti-cav, which I'm not super stoked about. Probably crank some of those guys out, form a little defensive army for ourselves, make sure we don't get pushed around at all. That's important, especially at the Humankind difficulty level. We also get the Learned Addition. This is our special Sumerian trait for the rest of the game. -10 on attached territory cost per remaining city cap count. Pretty nice. -25 cost of signing treaties with independent peoples. And so that will help us with any independent peoples. With that will play very well into playing at Humankind difficulty and trying to get some of those nice free people's bonuses. The biggest problem with choosing the Sumerians, and this is something that's true across the board, particularly early game with any of the diplomatic cultures, is your highest fame gain stars are diplomat stars. Diplomat stars are very difficult to get at the beginning of the game. They become much easier to get mid to late game, but early game, it's very hard to get these stars. So we'll see. Obviously, what's nice is the Aduba actually gets us 5 leverage right away, and I'm not sure if leverage counts. Yeah, it does. So we got to keep collecting leverages. I'm hoping that counts towards our leverage count. I'm sure it does. That will help us progress towards some of these stars. These are stars that you might normally not get, so it might help us out, actually, as much as I'm thinking that it will possibly be a hindrance. So we're going to go ahead and put our capital down here. In Horna. So Horna will become our capital city. We don't need to move it. We are in the best possible location here. Costs nothing to do our first city, as is a custom in Humankind. So we're just going to plop it down. There we go. And we immediately get to pick a religion, which that is also moderately exciting. Now we have to make a decision about our religion. We have enough population to make a religion already, and it's turn 15. So it's pretty good. I don't mind that at all. Polytheism gets us +6 faith on Main Plaza. Now, right now, all we have is Main Plaza, right? Because we just have 1 city. So in the immediacy, that's pretty good. Shamanism, on the other hand, gets us +2 faith on Main Plaza, and then +2 faith on administrative centers. The math works out to you have to attach 2 territories in order to equal polytheism. So once your city is reached 3 territories in size, you've attached 2 additional ones to your starting territory, you get the equivalent faith output of polytheism if you pick shamanism. Now, the biggest thing to remember is that trade...
It is not just a bunch of buildings. It is warmth, protection, and, praise the gods, a bit of privacy.
That is true, Mr. Narrator. Thank you. The important things to remember about faith is that faith is spread primarily through trade. Now, if we were to put polytheism into this territory, faith is also spread per territory, not per city. So we have 1 copper here to trade. That's pretty much it. If we attach this, which we're planning on doing, and maybe this, that gets us access to some silk. But then we'd be generating +2 faith out of our outpost, which actually causes faith spread from here, right? So if we go that direction, we actually push a little bit better from our faith spread standpoint. We're not generating as much faith to start with, but eventually we're going to spread our faith better. Similarly, up here, we have another, if this is our second city, now we're starting to think about, well, what do we want, right? Now, we've got 2 at least, but then we've got 1, 2 in this territory and another one over here. So, again, the idea of shamanism probably ends up being a best bet for us because our territories, each one individually, is going to start generating more faith than they would otherwise if we choose shamanism. If we, on the other hand, choose polytheism, yes, our main plazas would generate immediately more faith, but because we have a resource spread that is kind of all over the place right now, shamanism is probably going to be our better play here. If all of your resources are centralized into a single territory and that is where your city is, your administrative center is, polytheism every day, all the time. If your resources are spread out and going to be in multiple territories across your empire, or if your resources are in a different, maybe they're clustered, but they're not in the territory where your city is located, again, shamanism is going to become the play. So we're going to go shamanism. The other reason we're going to go shamanism is because of this. Because this says -10% attached territory cost per remaining city cap count, which means we actually probably want fewer cities and more reduction in our attachment costs. We're not going to focus too much on that. That 10% reduction is not like some huge thing that we're going to be concerned with. But we might want to take advantage of it since it is part of our kit as the Sumerians. So let's go ahead and take shamanism. There we go. And our religion will be off and running. Now, the important thing is we need to now make attachments as quickly as possible, right? So what we're going to want is this unit here, rather than fighting this deer, they're kind of damaged. We're going to bring this unit over here. We're going to grab this territory as quick as we can. We're going to bring this. Man, who's going to get here faster? I guess we could separate this group of 4. We could go 2 and 2. This group. So here's the thing about scouts in Humankind when you get to this point. A group of 4 scouts is not really going to defeat anything differently than a group of 2. A group of 2, you can fight a mammoth, you can fight a bear, you can arguably maybe even fight 2 bears. Sometimes you have 2 bear pop-ups. That would be a tougher fight, but it probably would be fine. If they run into free peoples, aggressive free peoples that are going to attack them, a group of 4 scouts is still going to die to that. Because they're going to come at you with chariots, the scouts are just going to get run over, or they're going to have warriors already. Like, their units will be better than yours if you run into that scenario. So a group of 4 just means you lose more scouts in that fight than you would otherwise. So I'm actually a fan of running around in groups of 2 to make sure that we can take a mammoth fight if we need to, fight off a bear if we have to. But you're not going to... I don't feel like there's any benefit to stacking a group of 4 scouts together. So we're actually going to go ahead and run a transfer. I'm going to bring these guys down here. Somewhere is our claim in here. This is a really nice territory, so we'll run the transfer. I'm going to grab 2 of these units, transfer them out this way. Oh, okay, that happened. Yep. All right, and then we're going to ransack with the rest of them. So the rest of them are going to ransack this lair. That's going to get us plus 22 gold. That will be very nice. As you can see, we currently have 0 gold, but we are gaining 4 money per turn already, which is actually quite nice based on the fact that we have quite a few units already in play. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The other thing we want to start saving up for is once this goes in, and we can actually check it down here, is how much does our next city cost? Our next city is going to cost 160. We would like to get our second city in as quickly as possible. Actually, we'll sometimes even forego claims to get to this 160 as fast as I possibly can. It's a risky move, but long term, the faster you get that second city up and running, the more influence you will start to generate. So we'll debate whether we're going to put, like, this claim is one I think we have to have. So, like, we have 2 claims where I'm like, I feel like we have to get these down. we'll see where we're sitting as far as the fame is it's gonna be close when we make this a city. We'll see how fast we go. All right, so what I want is for this guy to actually, we're not gonna take this fight. I feel bad about this fight because we're damaged, so we'll wait. We'll maybe come and do that later. I'm just gonna go into this territory and find our settle point. I'm thinking it's like here or here probably. So we'll go ahead and pop in. Oh, of course there's a, makes sense. 89 influence to put the claim down. That is expensive. Oh, we also have civics we're going to want to put in. The civic to reduce claim cost. We don't want to put any claims in until we have that civic in, because that will reduce our claim cost by 50%. I think it's 50%, which is a ridiculous number. So we'll obviously be waiting for that too. But I think our claim's either going to be here, because it will eventually be able to get that mountain, or the claim will be here. Let's grab this though, and then I think we'll scoot him. We'll scoot him over here probably. Also allow him to heal a little bit. How much does our ability cost? What's the cost on this? Does it cost nothing? Can force a ceasefire in one territory for 10 turns. Informing the international community that all unauthorized military units present there are trespassing. Any such army generates grievance and thus leverage intel against demilitarized territory. For each successive turn spent there, every unit will produce 1 leverage for your empire. If the targeted territory has already been claimed by an empire, only the owner and any empires that have are authorized to cross the borders will be able to move freely within it. If the target territory was unclaimed, the empire establishing the demilitarization will be considered its temporary owner. It doesn't look like this costs anything. Just demilitarize this one right here, because it's got this little thing right here. I feel like we just demilitarize this.
Establishing a demilitarized zone?
That's just free. We just do
that.
that.
Outside armies won't set foot in here.
Okay.
At least for now.
Okay, perfect. So we've demilitarized that. I don't mind that. We could have done this one as well, but I feel like we're going to put our claim down here pretty quick. We already have a unit there. This is demilitarized, so it becomes much more difficult for them to claim. At least they have to sacrifice to claim it, which is good. I actually don't. That ability I thought was not useful, but I don't know. Like, it's not as good as some of the other abilities, but I feel like it could potentially be useful. Here's the thing. I would really like to get outside of the borders here, but I don't want to... I don't want open borders right now. Just because I don't want him to be able to walk through my lands unchecked. But I also need to get out and about exploring. I guess these guys can swing back around. Yeah, we're not going to claim anything here without declaring war. So these guys are going to come back this direction. Maybe swing around here, see what's to see. That's probably what these guys are doing. They might, you know what I might even do with this unit? Do they have any veterancy? No. We might just disband them into our capital. We'll swing them back around and run a disband of the unit. All right, we fighting this mammoth here with these two guys. Let's see. What do we got? High ground if we go over here. I think we do. Let's come up here and then find out. Oh, there's a sanctuary here too. Yeah, so we push this fight. We'll put this guy here. Employment. We'll let Mammoth. Mammoth makes a smart maneuver. Bring this guy down. I don't know if we have the bonus for adjacent units yet. I think we always do, right? Yeah, +1 from friendly units, so we want that, right? Our scouts also, they do have an increased attack over our tribesmen, right? So this is fine. We'll take the gold from the mammoth. The mammoths become much less important to kill in the ancient era. I mean, +20 gold is not bad, but 20 food, which is a whole unit, and 20 influence is enormous in the Neolithic. Again, mammoth hunting in the Neolithic, hugely beneficial, right? Hugely beneficial. This guy, I can grab this. And then we can actually, oh, interesting. Is this lake or ocean? Let's find out. That is coastal water. Probably means that this tapers off, which is not surprising. We've gone, I wonder what happens over here. I don't think it's going to extend any further than that. It'd be nice if there was another land territory over here we could potentially grab. This is going to get very crowded very fast. We have an outlet. There's an island here, and it looks like there's another continent over here. So we have an outlet if we can only get 2 cities down before it gets too crowded here. But I don't love all of those thoughts that we're having about this land. Let's get out and about exploring with this guy. All right, our city is ready to put stuff down. I'm not gonna go holy site early. Embassy early is something we could think about, but I don't need it right away. I do like the idea of an early Aduba, but I always open with Pottery Workshop. Gets you +4 influence. That's really what you want. So we're gonna go influence first. That's a 3-turn build. Probably go into I would probably go into the Aduba, to be honest, because we want to pick an optimum spot for the Aduba to then surround it with farmers' quarters, right? That's the whole goal. So we want to have like a nice Aduba location that then translates into a really nice kind of farm area. So might go that direction just because of that. It's not usually how I do things. Usually I go farmers' quarter next every time. And then we do want to look at this. I'm going to go ahead and put it on expert policy, science over gold, because this is typically what I do. But then I'm going to scoop my 1 over into industry. And the reason I do that is because we could get an extra pop and an extra turn, but the pottery workshop is going to also take a whole extra turn to build if we do that. So I think better off to split between food and industry early. I know some people that will actually stack science early on, which I'm not opposed to. I think that's actually quite nice. Our science is not bad and actually grows with our population because we picked storytellers, right? So we're gonna go with that split. That's what I usually like to do. And we pick our first science. Here's the thing. Our unique unit is here in bronze working. The idea of getting archers is really appealing because we have a neighbor this close to us. I don't think we can pass up the artisan's quarter first, so I think we might go something like calendar into carpentry. Now, if our science is high enough, we could go calendar into writing and try to grab the fame from getting writing first. Also reduces our civics cost, which is really nice. It's a big leap to try to go that direction, so we'll have to see where we're at. The other thing that we're going to want to do, which is going to be different than almost any other game because we picked the Sumerians, is we're going to go for wheel pretty early because that gets us our envoys, and our envoys can go collect that leverage. This is the reason why it's very difficult to get diplomatic stars in the ancient era. In order to even start collecting most leverages, you have to get envoys out. The envoys don't come until pretty dang late. So we almost will have to sacrifice to get to them to try to get those stars, which is probably going to be more worthwhile than going for writing. Writing is a debate whether you're even going to get it first or not. Whereas if I get envoys out, I could click some leverage and probably get some stars that way. So we might even go calendar to wheel, or we go calendar to carpentry to wheel, something like that. That'll get us the line to wheel, right? There's multiple ways to unlock this. But let's go calendar first. Gets us access to the granary, which is a powerful building in the infrastructure list, and then the artisan's quarter, obviously, to extract our luxuries, which will be very beneficial. So we'll go with that, and then we will end our turn. We do have 80 gold potentially to spend, and we have 69 influence right now, which will not allow us to put anything down quite yet, but as the civics unlock, which we'll start to see here shortly, we haven't actually unlocked any of them, we will be able to reduce that cost down. Also getting 14 influence per turn already. That's going to go up as the population increases here and as this building goes in. So that is a pretty decent clip to be able to get a second city in early. I'm not opposed to that. Construction of the embassy is available. That's because we already met somebody. Our ransack was also successful, and we have now an offer.
We would all benefit from growing closer.
A non-aggression pact.
Think?
Absolutely. I think this is a grand idea.
Just as you are wise.
But also,
let's make it so.
I'm oppressing his people already.
I can only say that this is excellent.
All right, how about we try to establish a peaceful relationship? I like the idea of that. I'm not going to pay
should
you.
Be in all.
I'm sorry. You don't have any luxuries right now, pal. So what would my point be in doing that? Again, we're not going to put this down. I'm going to leave this guy sitting right here. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go, while we're waiting, might as well burn this fog down a little bit. I like the music. I feel like I haven't heard this one before. Probably it's a Sumerian-specific song. Maybe I just have heard it and I don't know. I love the music in this game, though. Okay. We've got our 2 and 2. We're not going to be able to get into the water for quite some time. We might have to beeline it for that as well, because if we get cut off here, it's going to get kind of nasty. All right, so these guys, These guys are headed in this direction.
Over this
Because
way.
these guys are going to go set up for the claim here, right? So this is the territory. Where are we putting our claim in? Maybe down here somewhere? Is our city claim? Up here would be nice. Oh, actually, right where we're standing is not bad. No, right here, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rivers, plus the mountains right here. That might be the claim spot. Down here is nice as well. This would probably... This looks like it's also a 4-river claim. But the land here is very lush. More food. I think our claim might be right here.
Let's go.
I think that might be our claim. Now, we're going to have a little bit of time to maybe suss that out. But also don't want to lose that territory. Just in case, you know, we get any funny business from Sarge in trying to claim land. Oh, wait.
Off we go.
Oh, that's why you move slowly. Wasted that turn, but that's okay. We'll grab it next. Okay, he's already got people. He's got people deep in my land. Now, his people are not quite stuck yet. We might end up getting that unit pretty stuck. He can't cross my borders right now without declaring war. But we have to watch out for this, because if he starts putting random claims down over here, like, that's gonna put strain on some of our relationships. Now, these are scouts. We could actually engage in open warfare at this point. And we could crush this scout. That would not make Mr. Sarge very happy, and I'm not sure if I want to exercise that, because again, what we talked about is his capital only has 2 people still. He's been training military units, because that's the only reason his capital does not have more people. I saw it at 4 at one point, so I know there's at least 2 military units that have been trained out of there. So that's potentially problematic, right? We're going to burn this sanctuary down. It's going to get us another chunk of gold, which is good. And then what are these guys going to do? These guys are going to go for a claim, so these guys maybe could swing in this direction. This guy is heading into the coast. Yeah, we're just going to keep him coastline. Okay, so that does stop. That's a stop point right there, which is not surprising. Okay, so we have claimed now the northernmost piece of this land, and then we've got a middle claim. So, okay, yeah, it is gonna get very tight on this continent. It's gonna get very tight. Alright. Alright, our first civics are now available to us, and this is where stuff gets kind of tricky as far as making choices. We want to get that second city in, we want to get settles in, but we can also take +5 influence on Main Plaza for 20. +5 influence on Main Plaza gets us 5 more influence per turn. We're currently earning 15, so that's what, 25% increase or something like that. I don't trust my math ever, by the way. That increase seems very well worth it. I'm going to enact that right away. We're probably going to spend all our influence on civics here. So we're going to enact this right away.
Why was this even a question?
Legitimacy
Let's
also
keep it
gets us
simple.
-50%
We've
on
been
create
here.
outpost costs.
It's
which
our place.
We moved this way, now we're going to move right back. We're going to enact this right away as well, because we need this. So we're going to enact
That
this too.
seems to leave
There
a lot of
goes all our influence.
interpretation of right
But
and
now
wrong.
we're set up.
Not to
We're
mention
making 20
yours
influence
and
per
mine.
turn, and our cost of putting these in has gone down extravagantly, right? Now we only need 45 instead of the 89 that we needed. That's very big, and that will get us rolling towards our second city and claims as well. Debating whether we want to get those claims in before we get the city in. I wonder if we put the 2 claims in, this claim and this claim. We get those 2 claims in, then we make this into our second city. I think that's probably going to be the play. The other thing we need to think about from an influence generation standpoint is we also want to buy in these resources with influence. That's going to cost approximately like 25 to 38 probably influence per resource, but it's much cheaper to do it that way than it is to try to do it by building them later on. Plus you get immediate access to those, which is really nice for your empire, right? So we want to do those as quickly as possible. But since we want this one to be our city, we actually want to do these ones first, right? We want these papyruses in first, because once we turn this into a city, we can't buy it anymore. The other one is going to attach in a little bit later, although we do want to attach it in for the bonuses of the Great Barrier Reef. So we want to run these. The capital, I think, is going to run these 2 attachments first. This attachment, this attachment. That's going to get us. The capital's going to be huge, because we're going to have two wonders in the capital, essentially, that are going to... the capital's going to take off. It's going to be really awesome. Okay, let's keep moving. Successful ransack. It's a lot of planning in the early stages here. Planning that often will get messed up when the AI does something crazy or whatever. Okay, so the question is, we have enough to put the claim in now. So what was it to put the city down? 160, right? 160. We're making 20 per turn. 60, that's 5 turns. We'd have to wait 5 turns to put our second city in. As opposed to, we could make claims, we could get in 2 turns, we could have both our claims in. I think I want to put the claims down first. Run our claims, then we run our city. I think that's how we do it. And we also have to think about, in 2 turns when calendars research putting these in, I think that's the order. Then we snag our second city pretty close after that. I want to get that second city up and running quickly. I think we could just put our... Oh, really? Not the spot I thought. Okay, so this is a 10-5. This, where was I thinking? Right here is a 12-3. But it gets us access to that. Yeah, we're going to have access to that relatively quickly anyway, right? You know what? I could go for the high... We could go super high food in this. I'm not opposed to that. 10-5 is more balanced approach. This would eventually get us access to that 3. It would end up with 6. Once it attaches, actually, which is going to be very soon. It would end up with 6. It would be a 12-6, which is nice on the production side of things. Oh, or we could put it down right here. A 9-8 is not bad either. With river access potentially. That's not as worth it. The 10-5 is balanced right now. We'll roll this right here. Who can put this down? Can you put this down on this? These guys can put it down on this turn, right? Let's just get the claim in. Get our claim in. We want our wonder. We don't want to mess around. There's our claim. Beautiful. All right, you guys. Okay, just gonna. I guess you're just hanging out together. We could actually combo these units together. That might be what we end up doing. Oh no, one of those guys was gonna disband, right? Oh, yeah, one of these guys is gonna disband. The damaged guy should actually go disband. Is what should happen. Okay.
Over this way.
Oh wait, we're gonna put. Oh, these guys are supposed to be putting down their claim. What are you doing? Go back. What are these guys? I got too many units at this point. Let's go around this way with these guys. Far too many units.
Let's go. Come over here.
River. These guys are also going to jump on the river. Oh man, there's some nice land over here. This claim is probably honestly got to be our next one. We got to get across the north part of this map now in order to cut off Sarge from doing anything crazy. I mean, another civic available. Army composition. This one we are not going to enact right away. We're not building an army. Otherwise, we might. Both of these are actually really useful at different times during the game. So if we're at war, we might like turn in that direction. We're not right now, so we're gonna hold. Or converting to religion. We got guys on the move. His guys are on the move. I'm waiting for like some random weird claim to happen over here. I'm not looking forward to any claims that come through. It'd be very painful. Okay, so we're unfortunately we are in fact 53 now, right? So we're 1 turn away from this claim. So we get this claim in on the next turn. We also get we also get calendar on the next turn, so hopefully we start to put in our resources, specifically here, because we're going to start saving up for that second city very quickly. So we get the papyrus is in, and then we rock and roll from there. That will be our objective. Now, we do want to run our attachment before we put our second city in, so once this is available, we will immediately attach our capital to this. That will be a quick attachment. So that's, again, influence is so tricky to manage, I feel like. Well, that's a cliff. Let's send these guys coastal. We'll send these guys coastal. This group can maybe come up through... Well, we have too many units. We have too many units. We should go disband one, to be honest. This is what we really should do.
Off we go.
Try to see some more land. Alright, this guy, I think, he's seen combat. Oh, this guy's seen combat. This guy has not seen combat. Alright, you come up here and then disband yourself. We do not need you, I do not think. We have too many units. So disbanding is really, really nice early game. So we're gonna disband him. You'll see the population in a nug go up. So we're gonna disband. You go into the territory where the city is that you want the disbanded unit to go. We disband. And now we have 3 pop there, right? So we took a unit and we moved him. It's also a great way of moving population between cities if you ever need to do that. So lots of options with that particular piece of the puzzle. Okay, let's check our event, actually. Of herds and heirlooms. Today, the era of nomadism is a distant memory for your people. Multiple generations of families having lived and died in the same city over the course of centuries. Every death comes with pain and grief for those still living, but as time has passed, family quarrels have also become commonplace as arguments over material possessions flare up. One distinguished family, riven by disputes over a herd of prized cattle, has asked you to establish a clear system of inheritance to help avoid future arguments. What is your decree? So we can overlook this, which pushes us down the tradition side towards a more faith-oriented. We can distribute the wealth, which pushes us more towards collectivism, or we can do privilege, which pushes us more towards individualism. Let me remember. So individualism gets us money. Collectivism gets us industry. I think we want the industry. I think we go more towards collectivism when we have the opportunity to. And since there's no punishments here, we're going to distribute and move ourselves towards collectivism so that we can get more production out of our cities eventually. That is the decision that we have made. All right, this guy. Well, this guy is in the settle spot. Stop moving that guy. This guy can come down here.
All right.
Well, let's make sure we're not going to miss anything.
I'm on it.
And then we'll send him this way. We'll get some good exploration done with these guys. We're also prepped and ready for multiple placements of people as we need them. This guy can now cut his way across this part.
Let's go.
Maybe go fight that deer now that we have he's got health back.
Off we go.
If the deer is still there. Sometimes the deer and other animals start to despawn after a certain period of time. Okay. We're at 8 food, 3 pop. Stability is looking quite nice. We are growing in 1 turn. That's going to drop our food down very low. So we actually, I was going to go Aduba first. Here's what I'm thinking. We just need to have the right placement for our Aduba. We can get our farmer's quarter down first, and then we'll again, we just want to place our Aduba with farmer's quarters all around it. So that's what I thought. So I think, let's see. So this becomes a farmer's quarter. Then we can Aduba like here maybe, and then bring farmer's quarters like all around it. I think that's probably the play. I think this tile becomes your Aduba, and then all of this becomes farmer's quarters, right? So we're already building out to it. I like this idea, so let's do that. Doesn't cost us anything. It's quick 2-turn build, which is going to keep our city growing, which is something we definitely want. And that's where, again, you start to notice, okay, we disbanded a person into the city. We don't want to disband any more people into the city, or we're just going to end up in population trouble, right? So disbanding units is this big balancing act between how much food are they going to consume when they're disbanded? They don't. They consume money when they're a military unit. They don't consume food. They cost you. You're paying to feed them, but you're not actually, you don't need food to feed them. That's how the transition works, right? So when you disband them, all of a sudden they don't cost you money anymore, but now they're costing you food. And so then are you going to continue growing when you do that, despite the fact you're getting an extra worker out of it? That's always the question mark, right? The other thing to think about is, do we want any wonders? It would be awesome to claim a wonder. I almost never claim a wonder in the ancient era. There are too many important things to do with your influence. If you foregoed putting in a second city during the ancient era, you probably could go claim a wonder. I am not somebody who likes to do that, though. All right, let's put this claim in right away. Just in case, right? Something wacky-jacky happens. 10, 13, 15, 12. So we've got the spot. We've got the spot. We picked correctly. It's a 53 claim. We're gonna put it down. There we go. Udius, that is now in. It is adjacent to our capital. I don't know if it will end up connecting to our cap. Probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it goes this way, that's at least 5. Maybe a 6th if we do this, and then maybe Sumeria. This is probably Sumeria. This city and Linam, when it becomes a city, it will change its name. This city probably attaches here and then strings this way as far as we can. Capital probably takes this as a connection. Okay, well, I'm gonna go this way. Now I want to collect this. We could split them. Probably should have split them. That's fine. That was an excellent curiosity to collect. And now these guys can kind of stay in this kind of direction.
Follow me.
Try to bring them up. Get them. Okay, so I do want to bring them. Yeah, this is a dead end because it's a cliff. So we want to go this way.
Over this way.
Hey, there we go. We'll claim that with them on the next turn. These guys can keep going in the direction they wanted to go. Let's just go straight to the curiosity. This land is looking lush. We need to come across here and start claiming all of this. So when this city goes in, we put this claim down next. We run an attachment right away because the first attach is very cheap. And that will allow us to claim this next piece of land on the cheap as well. So that's the order of things, right? If it's adjacent to your city, it's cheaper to put in. That's what we want to do, if at all possible. Oh, and then, oh, no way the continent ends right there. Oh, I really hope there's a bunch of space right here. This is a small continent with 2 people on it. That, or if this is the new world right here. If this is the new world, then we'll be fine. But this is looking, we're going to have to aggressively settle this. We need to start prepping for claims, like, right away.
Over here. Let's go.
Tell me that this no, it's gonna end. It's gonna end! Oh, it's gonna... There's salt down here. It's a nice... That's a nice little territory. I'll take it. Horses and salt. That'll be just fine. Alright, 4 turns until we can run this attachment. And we have 36 influence. So, this is where it becomes a little tricky. We want to buy these in. That's 33 a pop. This gets us extra science right away and stability, so I think we just buy these right away. We want to buy both of these in, and I think it's worth it. The production cost of these is actually relatively low. We want to, like, buy one in and then sacrifice the other. We want to get this into a city. I'm almost wondering if we just save for claims at this point. But we can't get this claim without making this a city, so I think we have to save. We don't have to have this papyrus in yet. Let's see how things go. You know what? No, I'm going to buy one in. We're going to buy one in. We're going to buy one in, and now I think we don't buy the other one in. But that gets us a nice little science boost. That's an immediate +3 science boost, which is not bad at all. It'll be another +3 once we attach that in. Okay. Now the question becomes... Science at 12 per turn, which I don't think is actually too bad. 13 turns into writing to try to snag that fame is not the worst thing in the world. We could 1 turn into carpentry, so we have access to archers if we need it, and then head into wheel. And I think that's actually the play. I don't want... We skip that, though. Well, undo that. Let's go... Can we go carpentry and then wheel? I think we can. Can I shift into that? Yeah, perfect. So we can go carpentry into wheel. So I'm going to unclick wheel just in case, but we're going to go... Wait, why did that... Oh, it... No! When we clicked, it put the progression into domestication. Oh, that hurts my soul. I guess we skip... Well, that means we skip carpentry. I forgot there was leftover science. There was leftover science, and so it put that science into domestication. Oh. Alright, well, it's domestication into wheel then. That's just, we're going to commit to that line. We just commit to that line hard. And if we get into a war, we have to switch our stance. But I want to get an envoy out. To be honest, like, we're going to beeline to get envoys out to try to get those stars. Ugh. Okay. Okay, game. Excuse me? Sir! Sir! Who has the most combat veterancy? 13 to 11? You. Transfer. Come over here. You. Continue exploring. It's about to get violent. We should probably tech towards archers now. We may have made a critical error now. Do I need all 3 to defeat this guy? I really don't. I can fight this guy. I can fight that guy without advantage. I just picked this fight now. We're just gonna take this fight. I don't mind just running this. He's gonna sit there. Oh, we can only attack him from one spot there. That is actually kind of problematic. That's a bad attack spot for us. So let's come right here so we can see where he goes. Beyond river for a quick move. What if he says we just fight it anyway? I'd have to bring a guy around to be fighting off river. He's not on river right now. It'd be a nasty drag out fight. I'm gonna come to right here.
Follow me.
We're gonna see where he goes. Gonna see where he goes, and we're gonna burn that down as quickly as we can. All right, this guy is just doing his thing. Let's just make sure we've explored and gotten as much of the fog cleared as we can.
Here we go.
Something is right. Oh, there's two storm spots right there. Move that guy. We'll move that guy manually still for a little bit. Oh man, I don't know. These guys are gonna be at risk now from war perspective. And this guy is just going to continue his explorations. Keep him inland, I guess. Let's just tech him straight over to there. That's going to get exploration done and hopefully get us that. Okay, so it's extending out a little further.
Setback, I hope. But your empire has been outdone and others are now leaving a greater mark.
Excuse me? Sir? Okay, we're going to move this guy over here. I don't know why he went there. We're on expert policy. Oh, it's because our farmer's quarter just gone in. Okay, so stability is looking great. Food is looking okay. We're growing in 5 turns. That's kind of slow growth, to be honest. That's substantially slow on the growth side of things. So we get 9 turn into a granary. That only gets us 6 food currently. So I think we go 1 more farmer's quarter before we put our aduba down. And we don't want to put it there because that's where the aduba is going to go. So I think we want to take this 6 right here. That's going to cost us 2 production, which is kind of a pain. How much production do we have? 22? Ugh. 2 production costs. That's actually painful at this point in the game. You can also put this down. That costs us food for production. I might be playing around the aduba, potentially too much here. But I think we need at least 1 more farmer's field here. Now that +7 is nice, but again, I want to surround an aduba with that. And we could put the aduba here. That would cost us what? 1 food, 2 production, as opposed to that's a production tile. That production tile is never going to get used though. I think it's still going to be beneficial to build the farmer's quarters around this. Because this is going to be... That's not the nicest farmer's quarter. That +4 is actually not great. Whereas this is a +6. Once we get the river stuff going, though, we want to have the farmer's quarters on river probably for that. So I think we go... I think I'm going to go here. We're going to go here. +6 food. We're going to cost ourselves 2 production. That's fine. The aduba still goes here. I still like that play. But we need more food. Our city's not growing fast enough. And how close are we to attachment? 3 turns to attachment. And we're saving our influence for that 2nd city at this point, I believe, is our plan. We got to burn this down, though. So we're going to watch exactly what happens over here. I'm going to take control of this army. Let's see where this guy goes. Okay, he's going to run away. So we're just going to immediately come in with the burn. Oh! We have to break our non-aggression pact.
See you this day. Without honest intent behind it.
All together.
Get out of my lands. Get out of my lands. I do not appreciate it. And there's the aggressive. And there's the aggression, and there is the claim. So now we have angered... We have angered Sarge. Sarge has now decided that we're not going to be friends so much. We broke a treaty, and we're burning down his stuff, and now we're going to have problems, because his war support is going way up. He is now feeling aggressive towards us. And This is not beneficial to us. Yeah, he's also an Avenger. Alright, well, we have angered Sarge, and now we may potentially be in some amount of trouble. Which, look, he angered me first.
Right.
Don't blame me for this. This is his doing.
Well, let's go.
Oh boy. This is not going as swell as I want it to.
Acknowledged.
Alright, that guy could have also backed up the fight. We want to I also want to trap this guy that's coming in this direction. He's going to try to escape at some point, and we want to try to cut him off. We're going to try to actually get the kill on that, I think. I don't want that. I don't want that guy slinging around in my empire anymore. Well, obviously, you're going to need to get claims down in a very rapid pace process. This is nice because it's going to waste a bunch of his influence. That was a really expensive claim for him. And we are going to burn that down before it forms, right? So we have the... There's no way he gets an army to save that on time, but we now have the need to potentially build up an army of our own because he has made demands for us to give territories. In fact, this territory specifically. And so if he wins a war, he might be able to take territories from us. So we actually need to manage our war carefully at this point. We want to move this guy pretty quickly to see if we can cut off his guy, which we did not. So his guy is now maneuvering away. Move these guys back towards him. I'm going to move these guys back towards that. We're going to try to cut... He's going to try to go this way. We're going to try to cut him off. I don't want that guy making claims anymore, and I don't need these guys doing much in the way of expansion. Let's just stay along the cliff wall then. Wow, that's it. That is a very interesting cliff. Okay. This guy's going this way. We're going to let him do his thing. Is he going to get there this turn? Nice. Gold. Okay, we have a lot of gold, so... We're going to save that gold for the time being in case we need to start buying military units. We'd be able to buy like an archer or something like that pretty quickly. Man, see, this is what I don't like. Is like we've got... This is going to expire before I even have the opportunity to get an envoy out, which is going to suck. This guy becomes now our claims manager, I guess. Like, he needs to put claims in on places. So this is where we have to have a debate about Sarge is making really aggressive claims. Once this is attached, he will not be able to cross here without declaring war, so that will be fine. I hate that this got claimed. That's going to cause us a lot of problems. Okay. Let's watch this unit.
Bloody and smelly, aren't they?
Oh! He's going to come
History may
fight
be
me!
changed by battles, but that doesn't mean they're enjoyable.
Okay. Alright. Next turn, we'll have our city. We're up to 32 influence per turn. Next turn, we'll have our second city in. I really like that. We're going to take that route. And then everything else goes into claims after that. Okay, so that fight's going to happen. I have to determine whether I'm retreating from that or not. They're not going to retreat from that fight. I think we take that fight from a defensive standpoint. I'll have to look at what the battle line looks like. He's gonna be... Yeah, that's gonna suck, because I have to defend off of this. We'll both be fighting... It'll be fighting even ground, so I just defend off and I win that fight. I should be able to win that fight just defending off on river. So that will be the plan.
Let's go.
Make an incursion towards his land and see just what's happening over here. Okay, what do we got? We got warrior... We got another warrior. So we got multiple... No, that's the same one. I can't select... No. Oh, warrior scout. Okay, so warrior scout making this claim. That's fine. You could have this claim, I'm fine with. Gives you access to sources, that's fine. We want to claim across the north. We want to put in claims as far this way as we can. That's kind of our goal. Once we form this second city, we start putting claims in this direction. That's going to be... Obviously, what we want to do, we want to take as much of the territory as we can. This guy is going to get attacked on the next turn. This warrior will move to attack him, and we'll probably... we'll just be retreating from that, right?
Come over here.
Let's just unveil fog. Perfect. Nice, it wasn't gold. It's not gold. That's awesome.
Let's go.
That's why we continue exploring. This guy almost doesn't need to go that direction anymore, because I guess... Well, just in case we lose that fight, though, right? Let's send him... We can't join the fight, because we don't have the capability to do that. Let's send him this way for now. This guy is ready to further his exploration. That on the next turn. Our city is ready to build. Now we've got extra slots for people. We're growing at a really decent pace, and we can get our Aduba down. I want to get that Aduba down at this point. It's also tempting to build a holy site at some point, but I want multiple cities before I put a holy site in. So let's get our Aduba down here. Oh, we should have thought about this spot adjacent. Oh, that was dumb of us. Oh. Well, oh, it has to be. We did not think at all. We lost all focus. We lost every of the focus. This should have been the spot the whole time. Despite the fact that we can't surround it with farmers' quarters, it should have been this spot or this spot. We should have done that every time. This spot, because it has to be adjacent to. Oh man, we just didn't read the text. The +6 science is adjacency. It's adjacency to main plaza. Foolish. Foolish. I was focused so hard on getting the optimal farmer's quarters arrangement that I neglected... Oi. Alright, well, I guess we stick it here. That's a bummer. That's a 4. That's going to cost us 4 production out of our 20. Woo! We have to put it here, though, right? Because we're not going to burn this farmer's quarter. I'm not going to stick it there. There's no use because we're not getting any... It has to be adjacent. This should have been the spot all along. Oh, man. It's not that big a deal because we would have just put this over here, probably. It's not that big a deal. Like, we're going to put it here. We can also train an army. Might be advantageous. Alright, let's see. What's our instant resolve? Our instant resolve says we lose. And he wins. Is that because we're fighting in the wrong spot? You know what? I'm taking this fight. He's gonna come up here. This is even ground, river v river. We're gonna defend off the entire time. I'm never gonna press the attack button, because that's just bad for us. We take a defensive bonus every time, and we win. We eventually win this fight. Oh, this fight only lasts 1 turn, so he loses anyway if we just defend our flag. If we attack, I don't think it does anything for us if we attack, right? This is the 3rd round. He's gonna lose the fight regardless. We'll go fight him again later. We just end round. We don't get this kill. It doesn't look like unless we get really lucky. Victory. We gained nothing. We gained no war support for winning that fight. That's kind of suspect. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. This is angry. Every episode I feel like on Humankind difficulty, there's gonna be one thing that goes wrong. We lost the mammoth fight in round 1. Round 2, claim. The claim's gonna get us. But that's where we stand. Next turn we get the next city in. It's gonna be we're doing okay. We're doing all right here. This will work out for us in the end, I think. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be continuing this series every Sunday from here on out, so until we're done with the game. So looking forward to continuing this game. We've got plenty of stuff on the horizon as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you.